door. Take the nearest seats. I have another communication to make. None. Order. Take the nearest seats, members. Members in the walkway, take the nearest seats. Order, honorable members. Take the nearest seats. Honorable Nabuin, take the nearest seat. Order. Order. Order, honorable members. Order. Honorable members, the next communication. Order, honorable members. Order. Order. Honorable Babowino, take your seat. Order. Honorable members, the next communication is on the recognition of members of the National Assembly conferred state honors and retirement of a long-serving officer of the House. Honorable members, as you are all aware, the offices that we hold as leaders in this republic, including the office of Member of Parliament, are held in trust on behalf of the people of Kenya. Indeed, part of the recital in our own prayer states that we elected leaders in this House always commit to treat and consider all matters that shall come under our deliberation in so just and faithful a manner as to promote the honor and the glory of God and to advance the peace, prosperity, and welfare of our country and those whose interests have been committed to our charge. Honorable members, in recognition of members' commitment to live up to the philosophy of our prayer when serving the nation, the Parliamentary Honors Advisory Committee has been regularly making recommendations to the President regarding members of this House who ought to be conferred honors in accordance with Article 132(4)(c) of the Constitution. The Parliamentary Honors Advisory Committee, which I co-chair with the Speaker of the Senate, is a statutory body. It is composed of members drawn from both houses of Parliament and the Parliamentary Service Commission. The committee is responsible for identifying and recommending nominees from Parliament as one of the arms of the national government to be awarded national honors. The committee is also responsible for some statutory bodies, including the Office of the Auditor General and the Office of the Control of Budget. To this end, honorable members, the committee in 2024 recommended some members of Parliament and staff for the award of national honors. This was done through a rigorous consideration, including seeking the views or objections of the public on the proposed nominees and taking them into consideration determining the final list of nominees. In this regard, I wish to inform the House that several members of this House were conferred state honors by His Excellency the President during the 61st Jamhuri Day celebrations held on 12 December 2024 in recognition of their distinguished service to the nation in various capacities. Top on the list of honors is the Honorable Junaid Sheikh Nur Mohammed, CBS, MB Leader of the Majority Party, who was conferred the Elder of the Golden Heart, EGH. Alongside him are the following members who were awarded the Chief of the Order of the Burning Spear, CBS, the Honorable Faith Gitau, CBS MP, the Honorable Patrick Macau, EBS, CBS MP, the Honorable Muhammad Ali, HSC, CBS MP, The Honorable Raphael Wanjala, CBS MP. The Honorable Kangoko Bowen, CBS MP. The Honorable Engineer Vincent Musyoka, CBS MP. The Honorable Kimani Kuria, CBS MP. The Honorable Haika Miziki, CBS MP. The Honorable Abdi Shuria, CBS MP. The Honorable Yusuf Haji, CBS MP. The Honorable Gabriel Tongoyo, CBS MP. The Honorable George Kariuki, CBS MP. The Honorable Dr. John Mutunga, CBS MP. The Honorable John Kiari, CBS MP. The Honorable Nelson Koech, CBS MP. The Honorable Peter Lochakapong, CBS MP. The Honorable Stephen Karani, CBS MP. The Honorable Eric Muchangi, CBS MP. The Honorable Nelson Wamboka, CBS MP. The Honorable Fatuma Zainab, CBS MP. The Honorable Rose Museo, CBS MP. The Honorable Dr. Makali Mulu, CBS MP. The Honorable Janet Sitiane, CBS MP. The Honorable Tom Joseph Kajwang, CBS MP. And the Honorable Johnson Naika, CBS MP. Honorable members, you'll note that the members conferred state commendations are members of the Parliamentary Service Commission, chairpersons of committees, and other ranking members who served for more than 3 terms. In making recommendations, the committee considered other factors including longevity of service in Parliament and performance during the just concluded 14th EAC in the Parliamentary Games, whose agenda is about regional integration. I do note that many members will desire to be part of this list, but slots are ordinarily very limited. I urge the House to take a moment to congratulate them for earning this well-deserved state recognition. Congratulations to all those members. Honorable members, among those who also conferred with state honors were 9 members of staff. Please allow me on your behalf to recognize one of them, Ms. Anne Wambui Njoroge, the immediate former Director of Hansard and Audio Services, who is seated in the Hansard box. You may stand up, Anne, just below the Speaker's gallery. I've singled out Ms. Njoroge because she's retiring from the parliamentary service with effect from last week, Friday, 7th February 2025, after 33 years of distinguished service to Parliament. Honorable members, Ms. Njoroge joined Parliament in 1991 during the 6th Parliament at the level of Hansard reporter in the National Assembly after 1-year stint as a teacher at Kwale High School, having graduated from Kenyatta University. She has therefore served 8 parliaments, being the 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, and the current 13th parliament. As a career Hansard reporter, she committed her life to the production of precise records of plenary proceedings and committee sessions in the form of Hansard reports. She steadily rose through the ranks of Hansard reporter, 1 assistant Hansard editor, senior assistant Hansard editor, and deputy Hansard editor, and ultimately ascending to the apex position of director Hansard and Audio Services. And you may take your seat. Her notable milestones include the restructuring of Hansard and Audio Services for better service delivery, the formulation of policies that have improved the processes of production of the Hansard reports, and the ongoing project of digitizing production of the Hansard. Indeed, in recognition of the stellar services rendered by Ms. Anne Njoroge to Parliament and the nation, the Parliamentary Honors Advisory Committee recommended her to His Excellency the President, who awarded her the Order of the Grand Warrior, OGW, in December 2023. Honorable members, her presence today in the Hansard box is of great importance and we thank her for her 33 years of service and diligence in overseeing the production of the Hansard report of our proceedings as the Director, Hansard and Audio Services. On behalf of the National Assembly, the Parliamentary Service Commission, and indeed on my own behalf, I wish to thank Ms. Anne Wambui Njoroge, OGW, for the more than 3 decades of her dedication to the service of the Parliament of Kenya and indeed to the Republic of Kenya. We congratulate and wish you well in your next phase of life in retirement. Honorable members, before you go to what looks like some arguments you are going to have this afternoon, allow Anne to have a dignified send-off by allowing me to invite one of your colleagues who worked with Anne in the Hansard section before he branched off to go and become the Speaker of Baringo County Assembly and later coming back as the member for Baringo North. Is it Tiati now? The Honorable Kamket. Give Honorable Kamket the mic.
Thank you very much, Mr.
Kamket,
Speaker.
yes.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, indeed, it is a
Order, honorable members, this is a great day for Anne Njoroge. Give her the silence so that she can be honored by one of your colleagues who was her colleague.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Indeed, Mr. Speaker, it is a great honor for me to get the opportunity to pay tribute to my former boss, Ms. Anne Njoroge. Mr. Speaker, I joined Parliament myself as a Hansard reporter in February 1997. And immediately, Mr. Speaker, I was thrown into the deep end of Hansard reporting. But I was lucky, Mr. Speaker, to have had a very dedicated, humble, and determined public officer who trained me, Ms. Anne Njoroge, Mr. Speaker.
Order, Robert Mbui. Order, Robert. If Anne Njoroge was your sister, your mother, or your cousin, or your wife, you would love to give her this day. Go on, Kamket.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, Ms. Anne Njoroge is a very dedicated officer, Mr. Speaker. And so, Mr. Speaker, that box, Mr. Speaker, the Hansard box, is a box that is very familiar to me. I have sat in that box, Mr. Speaker, for a very long time, under the guidance of that very humble and hardworking public servant. And I'm very proud, Mr. Speaker, to be her product, to be the product of her guidance. And Mr. Speaker, that Hansard box, Mr. Speaker, has also produced not only me, but the Honorable Member for Matungu, the Honorable Peter Oscar Nabulindo, who was equally a Hansard reporter with me under the guidance and leadership of Ms. Anne Wambui Njoroge. Mr. Speaker, when I joined Parliament in 1997, this House, there was no Parliamentary Service Commission at that time. I remember, Mr. Speaker, we used to go and line up at Mr. Kiliku, the accountant, for salary, Mr. Speaker. And at that time, Mr. Speaker, not even the members of Parliament had bank accounts. We used to line up at the finance office to receive salary. At that time, Mr. Speaker, we did not like the members of Parliament that much, because we would line up for more than 2 hours, and then about 10 or 15 members of Parliament come and overtake you as we all lined up for salary. But perhaps, Mr. Speaker, what's the most interesting about Hansard, because we are talking about Ms. Wamboi today, is that the Hansard, Mr. Speaker, is supposed to be an accurate report of the spoken word without interfering with the facts and the line of thought of the honorable member. It's a very specialized kind of reporting, Mr. Speaker, and I want to say that in the office that I worked with, in the Department of Hansard led by Ms. Wamboi and other officers, we were able, and I believe even as at now, we were able, Mr. Speaker, to capture the lines of thoughts of honorable members, organize their thoughts without losing the facts and realities of what they want to present. And the next day, Mr. Speaker, whenever a member wanted to have or wanted to go through what they contributed to in the House, they would be mesmerized at how well they spoke, at how well thought out their ideas were, only because, Mr. Speaker, the Hansard officers put in many hours of work to make everything right. So, Mr. Speaker, as my colleague, my former boss, Ms. Njoroge, retires, I want to wish her the very best in her life. And I want to say, Mr. Speaker, that that box there, the Hansard box, is a great box. And all officers of Parliament who have worked in other departments, those who have made it to members of Parliament, I want to say that everybody has a chance in life to be a leader of this country. And Ms. Anne Wamboi Njoroge is a great person. She's a great woman, and I'll forever be grateful to her as a person whom she mentored into the great member of Parliament I believe I am today, Mr. Speaker. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. The second and last tribute to Ms. Njoroge is from Owen Bayer, who represents the constituency where she came from before she came here.
Okay. Honorable Speaker, I rise today to salute a distinguished public officer, Mrs. Anne Wamboi Njoroge, who has recently retired from her position as the Director of Hansard and Audio Services in the National Assembly. Mrs. Njoroge's journey in the public service began on October 7th, 1991, when she was first appointed as a Hansard Reporter 2 in the Hansard Department. Her dedication and commitment saw her rise through the ranks until she was promoted to the position of Director, Hansard and Audio Services in the National Assembly, the position she recently retired from. Mrs. Njoroge has been an integral part of the Hansard Department and of the National Assembly, contributing to the accurate and comprehensive recording of parliamentary proceedings. Her meticulous attention to detail and commitment to excellence have ensured that the Hansard reports remain a reliable and valuable resource for members of Parliament, researchers, and the public. Honorable Speaker, before joining public service, Mrs. Njoroge served as a teacher at Kwale Boys High School, where she taught many students, including Mike Mbuvi Sonko, former Makadara MP and second Nairobi County Governor and first Senator of Nairobi County in Form 2 in 1990. Honorable Speaker, Mrs. Njoroge's tenure has seen her work alongside many prominent figures in Kenyan politics, including the late President, His Excellency President Mwai Kibaki, the late Honorable Michael Wamalwa, the late Honorable Jaramogi Oginga Odinga, the late George Anyona, the late Honorable Martin Shikuku, the late Honorable Henry Nthenge, the late Honorable Kenneth Njindo Matiba, the late Honorable Jeremiah Nyaga and his sons, the Honorable Norman Nyaga and the late Joe Nyaga, the late Honorable David Mwenje, the late Honorable William Olen Timama, and the late Honorable Bonaya Godana, to mention but a few. I'm also told that she taught the Honorable Mashetani, the former MP for Lungalunga. She recalls memorable events, Mrs. Njoroge, such as one, members' induction in 2013, where she presented on parliamentary privileges and gave the example of Honorable George Nyanja, the former MP for Limuru constituency, who jumped the fence along Uhuru Highway in the 1990s to avoid being arrested. She also recalls the firm chairmanship of the late Honorable Anyona as the chairperson of the Public Accounts Committee, and the late Jaramogi and the late Kijana Wamalwa as their chairpersons of the Public Investments Committee. The Honorable Anyona was also a firm deputy speaker. Honorable Speaker, Mrs. Anne Wambui Njoroge's contribution to the Hansard Department at the National Assembly has left a lasting legacy. Her unwavering dedication and professionalism have set a high standard for all who follow in her footsteps. As we recognize her invaluable service, let us extend our heartfelt gratitude and best wishes for her future endeavors. Honorable Speaker, please join me in recognizing and celebrating on a remarkable career of Mrs. Anne Wambui Njoroge. Honorable Speaker, I would like to salute and I give you the greetings of the Leader of the Majority, Honorable Kimani Ichung'wah. Thank you very much.
Honorable members, can we have a foot thumping for Ms. Njoroge? Thank you. And we wish you well in your remaining productive years in public life. And may God give you guidance and protect you. Next. Yes. Yes, Millie Odhiambo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. Mr. Speaker, let me take this opportunity to wish all the members Happy New Year. And Mr. Speaker, also to congratulate all the members that have been awarded, and also to congratulate Anne for the amazing work that she has done for the Parliament. And Mr. Speaker, also just my concern as a woman leader, that I hope that when you have a woman rising to that level, that there will be another woman who will be able to either go that high or to a level almost as high, because women are not usually represented at that high level. Mr. Speaker, having said that, and even in acknowledging the members, I know that your committee forgot me, but you will correct that in their words. But having said that, Mr. Speaker, I wish to stand. Yes, I do have a CBS, but I also want to rise. I'm still doing good work. Mr. Speaker, if I don't praise myself, who will praise me? Mr. Speaker, I wish to stand under standing order number 19A and 20, Mr. Speaker, of our standing orders, Mr. Speaker. And Mr. Speaker, I wish to indicate further to a court decision, the High Court decision.
Order, Millie. Take your seat. I know you did see me in my chamber and indicated you raise a matter that you're trying to raise. I'll give you an opportunity, but let's finish with some preliminaries first. Clerk, order. Order, Angela.
Order number 3, messages. Order number 4, petitions. Order number 5, papers.
Majority.
Majority leader.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the following papers on the table of the House today, Tuesday, February 11th, 2024. 1, the Auditor General's report on...
Order, Orone.